Happy Hippos. Lately, we've been talking a lot about our bodies and our five senses that we use to explore the world. You use your eyes for seeing, your ears for hearing, your mouths and tongues for tasting, your nose is for smelling, and your skin is for touching. We've also been talking about the season that we're in, which is called fall. Sometimes it's called autumn. A season is a part of the year that has a certain kind of weather. Like in the winter, we might see some snow. In the spring, the weather feels like it's getting warmer. We might get more rain. In the summertime, it's really hot. And in the autumn is when the weather starts to cool off a little bit. In this book, we learn about this tree as it grows, gets a little bit bigger, and how he's going to change through the whole year and through all the different seasons. The title of this book is Little Tree. Once there was a little tree filled with little leaves. Who was surrounded by other little trees who had little leaves of their own. In what season do the trees have green leaves? Well, it might be towards the end of spring when the leaves have grown, or maybe it's the summertime. In the heat of long summer days, Little Tree's leaves kept him cool. The squirrels would climb up on his branches to play. The mourning dove landed in him and sang her fluty song. The little tree was sure to grow up big and strong. Look at all the leaves on the trees now. They're not green anymore. They've turned different colors. So the season they're growing in now is fall or autumn. Autumn arrived and cool winds filled the air. The wind tickled the little tree as it passed through his branches and ruffled his leaves. The air grew cold, and the leaves on all of the trees changed color, becoming yellow, red, and orange. Then, one by one, the trees began to drop their leaves. But not Little Tree. He just hugged his leaves tight. This is why we call this season fall, because we see the leaves fall. "Hello, Little Tree," said a squirrel. "You're supposed to drop your leaves now." But Little Tree was unsure. What would he do without his leaves? Winter came. "What are you doing with leaves still on you?" asked the doe. Little Tree just hugged his leaves tight. See all the snow on the ground? That tells us that the season is winter. And in the winter, a lot of trees don't have any leaves. They've all fallen down and blown away. Except for Little Tree. See, he still has his leaves. He doesn't want to let them go. Springtime arrived and the little forest burst into life again. The other trees grew bright new leaves. The squirrels played in their branches. Little Tree could hear the mourning dove singing her fluty song. The seasons continued to come and go. "Little Tree," quacked a duckling, "your leaves are brown. Are you feeling sick?" A fox said, "Little Tree, it's autumn. It's time for you to drop your leaves. You can do it. Ready? 1, 2. But Little Tree just hugged his leaves tight. all around the forest grew and grew. Why didn't Little Tree get any new green leaves? One summer, Little Tree could no longer feel the sunlight. The squirrels played high above on the broad, tall trees, and the mourning dove sang so far away that he could hardly hear her fluty song. Little Tree was holding on to his old brown leaves for so long, he wasn't able to grow big and tall. Autumn came again. Leaves began to blanket the ground. Little Tree looked up at the other trees, at their branches reaching high into the sky. He remembered when the trees had all been his size. Do you remember that at the beginning of the book? There's Little Tree, and all his other tree friends are the same size as him. But they kept growing. They dropped their leaves in the fall. They grew new leaves in the spring. And now here's Little Tree, still little. And all the other trees are so big. Then he let go. As his last leaf floated to the ground, for the first time, Little Tree felt the harsh cold of winter. But in time, something happened. Once there was a little tree. That's the end. Can you find Little Tree in this picture? Do you know which tree is Little Tree? I don't know which tree is Little Tree because he finally was able to grow up big and tall just like the other trees. That's the end.